It's Real Fit Radio with B
and j.lou.
If you're a first time listener, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
I feel energized today. I'm ready to jump into our discussion. I have no complaints. I'm so glad it was a positive day. I worked out. I'm good to go.
Same here. I mean, I ain't gonna prolong the check-in. I think we got a lot to talk about. So yeah, everything is good on my end too. Clothed in my right mind. I woke up, all my limbs are working. I'm good, ready to go.
Okay. So we're gonna do a deep dive today. Those of you who've been listening, you know what that is. But if you're new, we just kind of bounce around maybe one or two topics. It's just an open discussion. It's not one specific thing that we're staying on. So first thing up.
Let's do it.
Oh my goodness.
Let's do it. I know you amped. Let's do it.
Customer service. Good customer service is like a rarity or just like a lost art. Let's just say I've had it up to here with the craziness with customer service. And I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with this customer service. So as of recent, just with going in the stores and stuff like that, I know everything is going on with the COVID protest and we have these masks on. I get it. You know, I've seen some people be rude to patrons. I've seen people just do like outlandish stuff. And it's just like, wow, you know, just bad energy all around or somebody's having a bad day. However, I feel like there is more responsibility. I mean, I've worked in customer service for years. You know, I did for a long time. Thank God I'm not in it anymore because it can be very, very stressful because there's a way, it's a set of rules of how you need to handle a customer based on what company you working for. They have, you know, a set way of how you handle an irate customer. This is protocol, the do's and don'ts, all this stuff. And sometimes, you know, like this is just some BS. You're wrong. It's no crumbs about it. There's no way we can sugarcoat this. The customer's just wrong. But you kind of endure it and you get a supervisor, so on and so forth. But aside from that, some things recently that I'm just like at a loss for words pretty much. If you could see me, my mouth is just wide open. Is this customer service when it comes to entrepreneurs, creators, small businesses? I'm real big on supporting that group because it's hard already to venture out and do your own thing, you know, to be in your passion or your purpose. I experienced that personally, and I just feel like you need all the support you can get. You're taking a leap of faith. You're building your brand, whatever it is you're doing. So just recently, even during this COVID thing, it's been really crazy because there are new businesses that I've been very intentional. And even my family as a whole, specifically my daughter and I, we're getting our hair done, you know, our feet done, stuff like that. We want to be very intentional about where we spend our money with everything going on. And even to be, you know, more specific with everything going on, we are African American. So, you know, there are small Black businesses. That's a big thing right now, where it's just like, you know, you want to spend and support other Black businesses. I'm all for that too, but I'm also all for good business, you know, just good business etiquette and people that are just good people. But my experience as of recent, myself and my daughters, and even before that, I keep running into very lax business practices. It's just like, the customer service is just, it's no good. The response time, when you actually get there, start time, just your interaction overall. And I'll say, for example, because I'm just kind of talking roundabout, I booked an appointment with someone. If this first probably started about a year ago, found a stylist, booked with her. There's deposits are required now. You know, at first I was a little skeptical about it because I'm not really used to that. But it's like, okay, I'll pay the deposit in advance and pay the remaining balance when I get there. Got there. It's kind of like, you know, check me in. And she's doing my hair. But as far as the connect, I know for me, if you're spending $100, I don't care if it's $100 or $20, whatever, it's still money that they've chosen to spend with you to provide whatever service it is you provide. It's the disconnect. Like, I was with this lady for about an hour. My hair was washed. I mean, I heard her conversation about her no good man. It was just drama the whole time. She couldn't tell me anything about myself. And I'm not saying that you need to talk to me all about my life and everything. It's just, for me, if it were me, it's just like, you have a client in your chair. It's like, how are you? How did you hear about me? This is your first time here. If you found me on Instagram, what styles did you like? I'm just really big on stuff like that. So I'll chalk it up as, that's just not a good fit for me. I'll leave it alone. But even when you leave, it's like, they don't ask you, do you like your hair? Nothing. It's like a quick transaction, and it's just really whack. Then we've paid money and gone to get our hair done, because I'll keep looking. And I'm a firm believer in, you can't keep spending your money somewhere, say you don't like something, but you just keep going back. Well, I can't find anybody else. I will actively search. And it's like, people misrepresent themselves. They'll show you pictures of something. You get there, and the style they give you, you feel like you've been punked, because it's nothing
Catfish
like
Catfish with hairstyle.
Yes, like there's no way you could have been doing hair, for 10, 15 years. The hairstyles on your page, clearly it must be somebody else doing these heads. Like, this is not true. Your braids are dry, it's all bad. And you're just like, okay, this is real funky. Like, you have to know that this is not what I paid for. So then it's a matter of, how do you handle this in a tactful way? And it's a sensitive situation. And again, you've paid. It's just like, okay, you know what, they got me. I'm going to chalk this up as if I went out with the family. But this person has to know. Then you get people where you give them your money and you ask questions where it's just like, well, how much for braiding? How many packs of hair do I need to bring to the appointment? You're not asking other stuff, and you've already paid. And it's just like, you got to wait 3 days for a response. When they respond, it's like 5 packs. But again, maybe I'm just like super old school, but anybody that I text, and it's business, even when I go into places, it's like common courtesy for business. Hello, I hope you're well. Hope your day's going well. I'm texting you in regards to an appointment that I booked. I wanted to know how many packs of hair I need to bring. I'm getting this particular style, whatever. I'm making sure, like, B, are you tripping? Are you really like being extra right now? I make sure that I'm extending the same courtesy or common courtesy that I want someone to extend to me. But again, I have to remember, this is business. What happened to like repeat business or business retention, where you want to treat a person so good that they want to keep coming back, and they tell all their friends. It's like, I'll take your money. I've had deposits that I can't get back, and they're quick. As of recent, the communication with this one person was so bad. It was just like, I just want to cancel my appointment. And this is 15 days before my appointment. So I'm just like, you know what? The delays, just the short responses. Then they text me on accident that they were canceling on somebody else 15 minutes before their appointment. And they were texting as if I was the person they were canceling for. So I was just like, this is too many red flags. Let me go ahead and shoot them a text and let them know that, I'd like to cancel my appointment. It's 15 days in advance. What are the steps I can do to have my deposit returned to me? I got a text back that was no refunds, and the text I sent to you wasn't for you. What? Yeah, it's like nothing. So again, it sucks to lose the money, but I'm having a bigger issue with the customer service. And then I'm going to get a little bit deeper with it. It's us. Again, I identify with Black, African American, and with the state of the world right now. And let's support Black businesses. Let's make sure we're looking out for each other. And I'm all for that. I'm for that, but I'm also for, like I said, good businesses, because I believe good people come in all shades, come in all ethnicities. We got bad Black people. It's bad white people. So I'm one of those people, and somebody may want to come for me. The way I would love to see the world is diversity. I'm not about segregation, because I feel like when it's all black, now we going back to where it's separate. I would ideally like to function in a world where I see multicolors. Biblically, in my Father's house, there are many rooms. So, I'm very passionate about that. But I do understand the times we're in, and I do understand, because of what's going on, my assistance for my people may, be needed over there. And I'm about that. But I'm gonna have to get on my people too. we got to do better. Because in all honesty, all the people I've had these issues with have been my color. I mean, we can't want to grow and want the support and want to be successful, whether it's small, small business, entrepreneurs, creatives, but your business practice, I mean, it's horrible. Just the etiquette going back and forth, or you talking to a client, is just bad. You have to do the legwork. You cannot be handicapped in the areas or use every excuses to, oh, I was busy, I'm sorry, or, I'm running late. Or again, I'm not trying to like put somebody's stuff out there, because you never know who's listening, and they may know, yeah, I'm talking to you. And I've actually tried to explain myself in a way where it's still tactful. But every experience that I've had where it's been a problem, it's been with my people. It's always an excuse. The energy is negative. You want me to pay you in advance, and I'm cool with that. But you need to make sure you're willing to go the distance too, to make sure that I'm happy. If I text you, text me back and answer the questions I have. And these are not crazy questions. These are things in regards to my appointment. And I'm a person, I'll do stuff way in advance. This is not the night before. If I book an appointment with you a week before or so, and it's a $200, $125 hairstyle, whatever it is, I might be asking you about braiding hair, or, can I add this additional service? I don't know how that works. I want to add a wash and blow. Be prompt in the response. Set aside a day where you return all your text messages. And again, I don't feel like I need to explain all this to you when you taking my money. That's another problem I have. Why am I coming in, giving you my money? You get to get my money. You get to provide the service and be lax and lazy about it. And then I need to tell you how to be better at it. They pay people to come in and do that. People are paid to come in and tell you how to grow your business. I'm not there for a consultation. I paid my money, and you have to look at it like, how would you want somebody to treat you? And the funny part is, I'm willing to bet the same people that I get this treatment for, they'll go off if somebody treated them like that. And then I see a lot of things going on where people are griping about the way they're treated, but they'll keep spending their money there. You going in the store, you hooping and hollering about how you mistreated, but you don't want to exercise the power of your dollar. I've been exercising the power of my dollar. I have bounced from stylist to stylist. I'm encouraging anybody. We always give the Gmail at the end. I'm giving it now at realfitradio@gmail.com. Send me some places. I love supporting businesses and good people. It's important where you spend your money, and I'm about that. But I'm having a hard time finding people that really value their customers. They really value that you chose, out of all the people in the world, out of all the places, we in Los Angeles, California, everybody got something going on. I chose to spend my money with you, and stuff is expensive here. And then certain people, this is really not what they passionate about. They got 7 and 8 jobs. So you a side hustle, and you get treated as such because they're telling you they do one thing, but you look at your hair and you can tell this is a hustle for them. They don't care that this is going to exemplify their work when you go out and somebody sees your head and it's like, oh, your braids is messed up, or who did that to their hair? They don't even care about that's your signature. Jair and I have walked into Jamba Juice. We've walked into places to spend money to get shoes. And when we come in, if we're not greeted like, how you doing? If you need some help, let me know. We will walk right out. I'm not that pressed to spend my money at a restaurant, a clothing store, post office, wherever. I'm being that intentional. It doesn't make any sense that you can't say hello. I understand you could be having a bad day, but come on, let's be real. We've all been in an employee setting for some type of company. It's required. It's a part of your freaking job.
She on one, y'all.
Yeah, because it's crazy.
On one.
You come out and you want to really just let them have it. And I'm trying to find a word so that they're well received and it's not coming off negative. But I'm mad though. I'm upset because it's like you didn't pay me.
Don't you think the best thing to do is to tell somebody, despite the fact that they're going to take it negatively anyways? I still think it's a good thing. I mean, I seen the message that you sent. I think it was very tactful and an articulate message, because all of it was truthful. And if I'm a business and somebody is trying to be a patron of my service or my business or restaurant, whatever it is, and I'm being exemplified as what was on that message, I might want to fix that.
You would. But here's the thing, and I think this is where I'm more frustrated with it. I think it just kind of stings a bit more when you pay for the service and then you have to create this teachable moment for them. Like I said, I feel like
you shouldn't have to do it.
It's like I'm paying you, and then I'm gonna do double work. After you've done what you want to do, I gotta correct you too. People, you've experienced it. People will be late and they don't tell you, let me take, a few dollars off of your thing, or they're overly apologetic. You can just tell it's like it's the norm because people have been accepting of this. Like you said, I can't find somebody else to cut my hair like this, or she
deal with it.
Yeah, she do her nails the way she does the nails. I mean, it's nobody better. Like it's wrong. It's wrong on every level, and it's unacceptable. And again, for me, I think that change starts with an individual. I think that some people don't really believe that there's power, or actually there's power and value in their dollar. And for me specifically and the squad, we're not spending money. And I would urge other people, I implore you, if you getting bad customer service somewhere, if you don't want to say anything, just stop going, because it's like you're allowing them to continue to be that way. They think it's okay. There's no way that they could not. There hasn't been a consequence or a repercussion for their actions, because if there was, they clearly probably would be out of business, or they would be doing better. They wouldn't keep doing this stuff. With you and Jay, with the barber.
Yeah. So my situation with that was, I was looking around during quarantine time when obviously the barbershops wasn't open at the moment. We was looking like woolly mammoths around here. So we jumped on our phone and asked a couple of people that we knew was getting their hair cut during this time, who did they know that cut hair, or who did they recommend? So Josiah, our friend, recommended us to hit up some guy. So we set up an appointment. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, what do you prefer? He said, yeah, I can do whatever you want. So I was like, what's better, 8 or 9? He said 9. So he had set the time himself. I set up the spot where he can come and set up his equipment and get it going. And 8:50 came around. I'm like, dang, okay. He ain't came yet or hit me up. He got my phone number. 9 o'clock come. I'm like, all right, still no call. 9:15 come. I'm like, well, damn. So I hit him and was like, hey, man, I just wanted to make sure I gave you the right address, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, you still coming? I mean, what happened? I get a message like 20 minutes later, and keep in mind, the guy didn't hit me on my phone, which I gave him my number. He hit me on IG, which is something that I don't even check like that. So I just so happened to check, and he's like, I'm still cutting, but what you can do, you can come over here. This is my address, and you can skip everybody if you're able to come or whatnot. And I'm like, what? So wait, let me get this straight. You had me set an appointment for you to come to me. We already established the price and everything. And when it was my appointment, my time, you're cutting hair at your spot. And then the way you rectify the situation is you tell me to come to you, and I can skip whoever is there, but I still got to finish who is in the chair. I don't know where these business practices is coming from, but like you said, and you touch bases on both topics because they're kind of fused together in terms of what you were saying. Because my thing was, you are good at everything and a master of nothing. Like, the difference between where I'm from, which is Houston, and LA, is everybody out here is hustling. You cutting hair, you got a 9 to 5 you go to, you trying to be an actor, you doing this, you doing that. If you got your hands on all this stuff, there's no way you can really hone in on a craft to, number one, give the proper service that the people that come to you desire and deserve. And you cheating yourself because you're not becoming great at something that can amass you some type of financial freedom. It's a pro and a con out here. People are hustlers, but at the same time, hustling for what? What's your end game? I know back home, like, I be showing B all the time, like, man, look at this dude line up. This is pristine cutting right here. You know what I'm saying? And the reason being is, even though, back in Texas, we're considered like a blue collar state where everybody works like a 9 to 5. When they do things like cut hair, that's all the fuck they do is cut hair. So when you go to their barbershops, pretty much every barber I really dealt with back in the '80s was on time. You know, it was just basically a well-oiled machine. And then you got the service you deserve in terms of the end result, what you wanted. In my particular case, a haircut. So, but when you come out here, when you got all these jacks of all trades, man, you end up slipping somewhere. So you either end up slipping in your talent or your skill set and what you're doing. Because I've heard you say you've dealt with some people who are extremely nice. Their customer service is friendly, so you don't have an issue there. But then the service that you receive via your hairstyle is not what you wanted it to be. Or you get the flip side. You got the person that's dope as hell, but they suck in customer service. And that's where the disconnect is. You know, you can't have one without the other. You gonna lose both ways. Like the ones that's talented as hell and really can pull off what they show on their business profile and stuff like that, you guys are relying too much on your skill set and your talent and not honing a thing that's gonna retain clientele. It's kind of like music. Those are your super fans. Those are the people that's gonna pay your bills. You gonna have the ones that's gonna come and go. Like, I'm only coming over here, like, they good, but I don't really like this area, but I'm gonna come here until I find an area I'm okay with going in. All kinds of things. So we would call them bandwagon people. But if you treating the ones that could be possibly your super fans or your retaining clients that come all the time, you treating them the same way a bandwagon coming through, then your business is more like a revolving door than it is a business of sustainability. That's crazy to me.
One of the things you said, and I'm just backtracking on, that's why I said this is crazy. He told you to come and you could skip whoever
was waiting. But you were supposed to come to me.
But the problem I have with, I feel you, but the people that were sitting there waiting, imagine how they would have felt if they were told their appointment was at a certain time and you decided to come. I would have been like, who is this dude? How does he get to come and get in front of me? But they're comfortable though. They're comfortable and it has to stop. And again, the only thing I can continue to do is exercise the power of my dollar. And whoever hears this, I'm hoping, you know, if you have a business and you're not in this category, send me your information. I'm real big on telling other people about, you know, customer service. And just again, if you have a product or you provide a service that we need, that also, you know, was a plus.
Oh, well, yeah, I just wanted to add one more point to the barber dude. It was supposed to be mine, but he didn't miss out on just me. He missed out on two heads because it was me and Josiah. So you missed out on two potential returning clients. Because it's always good for us to have more than one barber to go to. That was just like a miss on that too. So
yeah, no, it usually is like that. But again, I'm to a point. I don't think anybody cares. This is like, let me get whatever money I can, put it towards my bills or whatever. Let me get the money. It's about getting the money. It's not about the craft. It's not about the craft. It's not about, again, the customer service. It's not about repeat business. It's like, let me get this money and let me keep it moving. Okay, you're ahead. You're ahead. You're not even a person.
You're a number.
Yeah, you know, you were $100, you're $200, you know, that's it. You are a dollar sign, and either you with it or you're not. And I need some money up front. I need a deposit too, and the deposit is non-refundable. I don't care if you make your appointment with me a month in advance. If you decide to cancel it, I get to keep that. You got 30 days
to replace that slot.
To fill that slot. I thought deposits were for if you didn't show up or you can't. Even with hotel chains, all that, they have your credit card on hold, you know, like they can charge it. You have up to 24 hours to cancel that reservation without there being a charge, you know, for you having that room held. So this doesn't apply to small businesses because it is so hard. I was so dependent on you 30 days in advance, 15 days in advance, that you were going to be that person. And I was lazy and delayed with my responses. I was short, lacked any common courtesy. I did everything whack on my end, but I'm going to need that deposit though. No, unacceptable. Got to do better. And if you know some places that do better, hairstylists, braiders, nail, pedicure techs, just business, period. I love to bring my money there. And it's always 4 to 5 of us, because it's usually the girls. Jair and I go together, you and Jay go together. And when it's something we can all do, whether it's food, shopping, personalized things, it's all 4 of us. And we usually tell 2 to 3 other people. So I don't know what else to do. I put it out there. I'm, doing my part as an individual. So I'm asking, seeking, and knocking.
Yeah, and I'm with you all the way with that, man. You guys got to understand, and whoever this is for, you're making people like us pick the lesser of 2 evils. And that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? We are very aware about the situation that's at hand with the protesting, being mindful of where we spend our money. We're all for that. But you got to meet us halfway. Like, you can't have us saying, don't spend money over here. And I've never had no issues over there, and nor have I seen anything on the internet saying that they are for what's going on in the world. They're actually standing by our side, but they just so happen to not be black. And then you're telling us not to spend our money over there. But if you can find somewhere to spend it where black owned is, and then we go over there and then we receive that type of treatment. Like, so it's like, okay, let me get this straight. You rather us get messed over here by our own people in terms of not necessarily in that light that we're talking about with the protesting, but just business wise. So you rather us go over here and get poor customer service than go to a place because they're non-black and their business we've never had issue with. They ain't in no political stuff where it's opposing us or anything like that. So you want us to come over there and stop going over there for the moment or just forever. But we're getting bad customer service. Like, that doesn't add up. I wouldn't even tell you guys to do that. You know what I'm saying? So whoever's out there saying that and you're not exemplifying the utmost business acumen in terms of customer service and your skill set, because going back and to summarize, it's one or the other that's always missing. Either you're really nice and cool and stuff like that, but you lack the skill set and you overcharging, or you have the skill set, but you just lack the customer service. And honestly, if we really look at what customer service is, it's just having good manners. Your mama and your daddy or whoever raised you, your grandma or whoever, they all taught you how to speak. Everything that's surrounding customer service is solely common sense in terms of being mannerable and things that you were taught growing up. Say hello when somebody enters the room. How can I help you? Like when a neighbor is over or when grown folks are talking and you walking in, and it's just good manners. That's all customer service is. And you always say this, you know exactly when it's being done to you. It's kind of like a vampire. You guys are vampires. You can see everything in a room when it's being done to you, but when you look in the mirror, you don't have a reflection. Like you don't see yourself. It doesn't apply to you. No, it apply to your ass too. So if you're in there walking around and you one of these people in the world that's asking somebody to be a part of your business or come and see what you have to offer, and your business acumen in terms of customer service or skill set is lackluster, man, you can't be mad at where your results are.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And again, it's good people in every shade, every ethnicity. And I'm not about to go out of my way to spend my money somewhere with my people and get treated poorly. And then on top of it, it's just a blatant disregard for getting better.
Yeah, you got to take your attitude of whatever is going on out of the business world. This is just an assumption of mine. It's almost like I feel like you're bringing the outside world issues that you have, whether it's in the house, your man ain't treating you right, vice versa, or your personal issues, and you're bringing them into the workplace, your own workplace. And it's being exemplified through your work, or it's being exemplified through your customer service. And you can't do that. You ain't going to be able to grow like that.
I used to, and I want to say, where can you do that? Here, because it's happening. I'm sure this has happened to other people. You're out of deposits. You're trying to figure out, again, if you're getting catfish from what you see. I don't even want to say trust, but that's the only word I can think of. I used to trust, like, you got to pretty much walk up on somebody or know the person personally that's going there, get a really good referral. Or if you walk up on somebody and you see their hair, you kind of want to vet them. hey, who did your hair? How was the customer service? And they probably might be like, well, dang, I'm giving a whole, like a whole reference right here. So, I could give you the information, but you want me to start talking about my personal experience there. And how did I feel? And did they oil your scalp? And when you came in or when you texted, they respond. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that complicated. It's just like common courtesy. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about.
Well, it tied into what I wanted to talk about being good at everything and a master at nothing. So we actually touched both of them at the same time.
But that too, I was so caught up in my customer service thing. I heard what you said, but I want to touch a little bit more on that. I think you do not only yourself a great disservice, but the world when you don't really hone your skills and focus on what you're passionate about, what you're purposed to do. When you're all over the place, you can be so mentally and physically exhausted that you're not even good at that thing, or you don't even have a desire to do what you're amazing at. Why cheat yourself? I understand people have to pay bills. I understand sometimes you have, multiple, jobs that you have to do, but I think you owe it to yourself. And again, the world, that is true legacy. That is the way that you leave your mark, or a catalyst or stepping stone for other people to either see that you were so great at something and it inspires them, or to create a place for someone or tool or resource for someone to be better. When you're able to touch people's lives through your skill set, your being, just your very presence. They have motivational speakers, people that are artistic, people that have a skill set that's just out of this world. Like they are just talented beyond words. When people don't get to experience that, it's sad. I believe there are a lot of people that had many talents that the world never knew because they were preoccupied. And I know it's not always by choice. We're just trying to get it done. But you should be perfecting your passion. When we say the craft and the skill set, you should feel some type of way if you're doing, and I can't say it no other way, half-ass jobs, half-ass haircuts, half-ass hairstyles. I can't even think of anything specific, but when it's like, when you step back and you're like, I did that. Whatever it is, you should take pride in your work. I've worked at some shitty places, and even in that was never written up, no complaints, was frustrated with the structure or just, where I was, but I still pushed to provide the best service that I could, with the exception of the other little extra stuff that can happen when we're on our jobs. When you get supervisors that are just crazy, or, they're just like, I can't even believe you're my supervisor. This is a mess. Or you dealing with customers, or the workload, the different things that just come with the job sometimes. And sometimes it's more crazy than not. But when you did your best, when someone can say, I don't really care for this place, or if the supervisor wanted to say, I don't really care for her or him, but man, they really did a bang up job with coming in and being on time and providing excellent customer service or accounting or whatever it is, that being a master. I don't even think you're really a master of all, a jack of all trades, a master of none, because you're not even a jack of all trades when you half-ass doing them. If you can't even do it right, should you really be considered a jack of that trade?
No, I guess they call it that because you somewhat know how to do it.
If you were a mechanic and every time I bought my car to you, it just was never fixed, I would not say you were a mechanic. You're not a jack of that trade. You're really not. If I come to get a service from you and you provide half-ass, I'm not going to refer anybody, because you really aren't what I thought you were. So are you technically a jack of that trade? So you might want to get rid of that. If you're not going to even hone the skill, don't half-ass do something that's a hustle either. Braiding doesn't require a cosmetology license. If you're going to braid, perfect that. Invest in the product. Don't have people leaving up out of your spot and their scalp is dry, their hair is dry, you could tell the braids are messed up. YouTube is free. Perfect the technique so that the people that you fortunate enough or blessed to have come and get their hair done by you, when they leave, even if you don't do, but a head here or there to, on the side or on the weekends, because your 9-to-5 job is Monday through Friday. When people see them, you got to turn people away because you so cold at what you do. Take some pride in that. So I'm that jack of all trades. You shortchanging yourself, and you sending people out that's pissed off. And a bad review is horrible, because I'm over here feeling that way. I try to be really respectful about this and not name names, or I went over here and stuff like that, because that doesn't help, because then the person can't even be receptive, because now they feel like you just clowning them. Yelp is the coldest, when you Yelp somebody or a business. But I'm trying to be better in that area, because you don't want to put somebody on the defense, because it's like, you didn't even talk to me. You went and, clown my business to everybody else. So I'm trying to put it amongst in general. All I can do is just not patronize you anymore. Because again, I'm not feeling that I spend my money and I got to come in here and give you a consultation about how you need to be as far as customer service and business etiquette and so on and so forth. But this whole, jack of all trades, if you're going to have a side hustle, be good at it, or just don't do it.
I agree.
Crazy. It's nonsense. It is. It's just freaking nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. And I implore you to do better with where you spend your money. And I implore people that are, again, entrepreneurs, creators, or small business owners, hopefully not small business forever, that you'll be a business owner doing well. You sitting somewhere and the business is thriving or sustaining, and you're just like, man, I'm making money hand over fist because of the amazing business practice you have in place, your excellent customer service skills. How about that?
Well, I think we pretty much said all we can say on that. Got one more and it's still revolved around kind of close to what we talking about, but not. This topic only came up because we was watching movies the other day, and you was like, I just wish sometimes when we have these black productions or these movies, like, man, it's crazy. When I see some of these movies that's on the big screen, we be like, dang, man, it's a lot of white people in this movie. But then you look at the black movies, more times than not, it's all black people. And so this topic is basically talking about just business owners. Now, we get the whole premise of going to black owned, and I want to kind of open you guys' mind up a little bit if you're not thinking this way. When I think of a black owned business, that's all I think of. It's just owned by a black person. I don't think of a black owned business, and when I walk into that business or I see that movie, all I see is black. Like you said earlier, you kind of said something slight when you was like, yeah, we were going back to segregation if we do all that. Yeah. Like, when I think or envision a black business, black ownership, anything of that nature, I think of a black owner, somebody who owns it, who happens to be black. And you got employees, managers, supervisors, whatever, that's all ethnic backgrounds, you know what I'm saying? And you're just the face of it. That's what I think of. And I think that narrative needs to be pushed a bit more, or we need to clear that up when we're saying that, because what's happening is, in my opinion, is when we say, oh, we need more black ownership, like even in sports or whatnot. I heard recently, not even recently, but just in talks, it's like, yeah, well, you don't like the NFL, let's create our own league. We made the NFL. Okay, granted, we made the NFL. We're some of the most talented people in the world. We all know this. But on the contrary, there's some talented white people. There's some talented Asians, Latin, whatever. So, yeah, if you created a black NFL or whatever you wanted to call it, don't create it and then just have all black players. Like, create that and saying, look, we don't like the rules and how the NFL is being ran. I'm just using it as an example. I'm not saying they're doing wrong. I'm just using it as an example because I love football. So you create your league. What you're telling the people is like, we don't like what they doing over there. And if you don't like how they doing over there, we got a league that's created. We're going to make sure that you're safe. We're going to make sure that you get to play the game that you love without having any of the stipulations or cons that you have in the NFL. You'll be treated fairly. Everybody get a fair shot, no matter what the ethnic background is. That's all you can ask for. You know what I'm saying? But when you start making it like a segregation thing, like we're going to create our own and we're going to spend our money over there, you doing no better than what they doing. On top of, like, when you say, oh yeah, well, you can go to Koreatown or you can go to Chinatown and they got all their stuff set up, we'll be doing the same thing. And if we trying to push to be better and integrate everybody to where we can get this whole economy thing, and when I say economy, I'm not just talking about financial, I'm just talking about economic system of all people, being able to move in unison, you have to move towards that direction where you're more open-minded to being black ownership, but also having other people in there that's not black. And that was one of the things that you were talking about with the movies and stuff. Like when you're saying these movies that's being produced by, I guess, black producers and directors and stuff, they have all black actors. Even when I look at some of the all white movies or whatever the case may be, it's always something missing, because I think everybody brings something different to the table, and you need that when you, especially when you talking about a movie. Like, you have to have a mix. One thing of too much is bad to me. It's kind of like drinking too much water is bad. Eating too much cheese is bad. When you have one thing of too much, it always, in my mind, end up being something that could possibly be bad in the long run. So, yeah, what's your thoughts on the whole black-owned thing, but people having a wrong perception of what black-owned really is or what it should be?
I think it's backwards on what our ancestors fought for. There was already, it was separate but not equal, so I get that part.
Right.
But the world we live in is a melting pot. It's a mixture. And I think you should have the option to love who you want to love, shop where you want to shop, travel where you want to travel. Just be, you know, I just feel like it shouldn't be this group is over there, that group is over there. And I think, again, because the way it's set up, I'm not opposed to lending more support because it's not equal.
Absolutely. I agree.
You know, so some things are just not equal. They're not setting up where they're playing fair. So I'm all for, okay, well, if that's what you guys are doing, I can't help that this group already, it's just set up for them to win in certain areas. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go over here and lend my support because I know that it's needed. You know, so I'm all for that, but I'm not for, even like with the stuff with, when you said with the movies, it was like a few years ago, hashtag Oscars so white. It was an issue. You know, we don't see the diversity, or there weren't as many black films that were put out or up for nomination, you know, to be nominated. And I don't even watch all that stuff. So you guys, that's why I might kind of be trying to pull from here and there. You know, I hear stuff, I read about things. But again, I get that part. And that's a whole nother topic, because I'm not like a huge Tyler Perry fan. It's, you know, I could watch a movie. I don't have to watch a movie. So it's not like I picked him because it's like, ooh. But one of the things he said that was so profound, and I feel it, is like, why am I trying to get a seat at your table when I can build my own? I'm not opposed to that either. Mm-hmm. He built his own, but it's not Tyler Perry all black studios. Like, there's no other production that can happen here. He's never said that. However, it's a black man that owns the studio, so he has more creative control. He has a say-so. It's his. He doesn't have to hope or wait for someone else to, you know, say, yeah, you can, or no, you can't, or the powers that be don't want you here. So I'm all for that too. If you don't like the way that someone's treating you, that ties right back into where you spending your money doing your business or create what you want.
Exactly.
It's enough money circulating in Hollywood, especially amongst certain groups. And I'll say that even when it was the hashtag Oscar so white, my thing was, why start the hashtag? If you feel that way, just don't participate. But then that's a whole nother problem, because you start seeing that everybody is not feeling that way. Are you mad because your friend wasn't nominated? Mm-hmm. You know, get specific. I think it was Jada that started it, and it was like, I saw Chris Rock did some jokes and some other people did. You mad, you know, Jada, because Will wasn't nominated? So I don't really know the whole backstory to that. But if it's on some what's right is right, if she was feeling that way before that, and it's like, no, across the board, we gonna have to see more of us too. We're working and we have great bodies of work that we've put blood, sweat, and tears. And I thought Hidden Figures was great. There were some other movies, but anyway, as I start going here and there, I'm all for, before we do this, I'm separating. Let's create some other stuff and make it so excellent that it's like, and you're welcome here too, but we running this though.
Yeah.
We accept everybody's money here.
Exactly.
I'm giving you a picture of what I would have liked to have seen at your studio.
But I didn't see it.
Right. I'm showing you how I would have liked to have had the opportunity of all the bodies of work, you know, they're included. So instead of rushing to, you know what, you stay over there, I stay over there, black, 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 black. I understand. I think for me, what I want to see is It's equal and I got options.
Mm-hmm.
So not only is it equal across the board, meaning it's a fair sentence passed down when a judge sees a black person or a white person, same crime, it shouldn't be different sentences. People should be treated equally across the board because the rule in place for a police officer, when this happens. It's not you get treated, like you don't have any rights, but you get treated like you do, even though you did the same crap, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody that didn't do anything at all. It's fair across the board. And the other thing is I want options. I don't have to, I don't like the way I was treated at that restaurant. I'm not going to spend my money there anymore. And I'm going to make it a point to find better places to spend my money. Or I don't like the way that went down and I have the financial means to create what I'd like to see happen. I'm going to make it a point to create this opportunity so that not only myself, but other people don't have to spend their money there. They can come over here, and get the type of treatment that they deserve when they're spending their money. So, that's where I'm at with that. Not the separate, equal and options, because some people say opportunity is different. I got options. I want to have options.
Yeah, when you got options, stuff can open up for you.
Right. Or I want to create options for other people and other good people. I know. And again, it's just sometimes you change your perspective. I have experienced good people from all ethnicities. So I'm going to push and assist where I'm needed, but I cannot make it to where it's not other good people in the world.
Nah, I'm not going to let what social media shows me or what's going on in the world lead me to believe that everybody in some other ethnic background is just evil. Regardless of that, I'm well aware of what the situations are at hand, but you can't be so blinded by that. And also knowing, Malcolm X said it on an interview a long time ago when he said media is the most powerful thing in the world because they can control the mind of people, whatever they show. So I know that they're showing all this stuff going on and it is happening. And I'm aware of that it's happening. And it's disheartening that it's happening. And I don't like that it's happening. But on that same coin, flip side of that coin, I still believe, like you said, that there are amazing spirits that's housed in flesh in all ethnicities. And I will continue to do that as such because I would never want there to come to a day and time where, if it ever happened, where we were looked at like that and everybody was looking at us like we were privileged or something, and we all had this same mindset of hatred and evil and we knew that wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be the change I want to see. You always say that, and that's my ultimate goal, and that's why I wanted to talk about the topic of black ownership, because I do value black ownership and options and equal rights and an even playing field, whatever you want to say in that regard. But that doesn't necessarily mean that my mindset means that, because it's black owned, that it has to be all black. And so I think that's something that we all should think about and ponder in our spare time.
Most definitely. A narrative that they present is not always true.
Mm-mm.
You said with the media and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else to say.
Nah, I was enlightened.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Yes. Wow.
You still think about that braid lady.
It's like, wow.
The braid lady. I'm chopping.
Well, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggested topics, businesses that have amazing customer service, you can reach us at realfitradio@gmail.com. Our podcast drops every Monday. You can hear a snippet of our latest podcast on our Instagram at realfitradio. If you're not following us, you should be. As always, I hope this inspired, impacted, or empowered someone. Until next time.